In this video, we're going to create a valid password that's secure for our user. So we're going to cover two topics. One is hashing, the other is encryption. So Codeigniter has a built-in encryption class, and you can think of encryption like you can encrypt something and you can decrypt something, meaning it's reversible. Hashing is a one-way translation, meaning it doesn't have a way to reverse it. So just for fun, let's go to controllers in our home controller, and I'll make a public function, and I'll just call it code. And to load the encryption library that's built in, we would say this load library, and it's a little hard to type, crypt. Did I spell that right? Encrypt. Okay. So I'm going to refresh my home page /code to make sure that worked. So home /code. Okay. I would have gotten an error if it didn't load properly. And then we can do this encrypt encode my secret password. Okay, and we can encode this and echo it out. Refresh, and we get this crazy long string. However, we could actually copy this and decrypt it as well. So if I comment this string out and do echo this encrypt decode with that string we had, refresh it, and it gives the secret password. Now that's something we don't want for passwords. We don't want them to be reversible in any way, shape, or form. I will say that the encryption here does use the same encryption key that you set in your config previously. Remember, we set that in config way down yonder. So this is not what we're going to use to create passwords. We're actually going to use a built-in PHP function called hash. And with hash, we can just do SHA-256 and then my secret password, like this. Okay, so let me just refresh the page, and here it is. This is 64 characters in length that we'll use for our database. Obviously not this exact one, but the issue we might have is this should be salted. And what I mean is, let's say we just had the password admin with SHA-256. This would be the default password. I know it's a lot of characters and this might seem a little weird, but if there was someone had a dictionary of collected words over time, which would be called a dictionary attack, admin will register as this exact string. So what you usually want to do is salt your password, and by salting it you just use a predefined value to add on to the string. So then if your password was actually admin in your system, and you'd add on an additional string like salt, something like that, and if I refresh, this password is totally different and wouldn't be based on a dictionary attack. So what we'd want to do is make a constant out of this. So I'll go to my constants in config. I'm just going to copy this whole file block so I can have my own. And I'll say custom constants. And I'll say define. You can call yours what you'd like. I'll just call mine salt, and then give it a value. Once you set this and use passwords with it, you should never change it. Otherwise, your passwords aren't going to mix and match correctly. So with this, I'll say just another salt. And how about just something random? Okay. So in here, we would actually do admin.salt, like that. Have it more secure. So refresh, and we have a crazy password. And what I'm going to do is copy this and open up my database connection. In my user table, my admin password will actually be that crazy long string. And you're going to want to make sure the whole thing got inserted. So just look at the last character. Mine was AF, and if I look at this, it's AF. That way you know you made your table field long enough. So now that we have that, I'll just cut that out and comment out code and close these guys. We'll go to our user controller, and for the login, when they type in their regular hard-coded password, we pass in the password encrypted. So instead of admin here, it would be password. This is in the user controller. Okay, so type that out. Okay, and this is in an array, so make sure there's no commas or semicolons here. So now it's going to check based on a correct hashing table. So I'll go ahead and go back to my home page, and admin should work, and there it goes. Now you have a more secure way to hash your passwords, check them and log them in and all that. If someone were to register, we'd also want to apply the same hash like that as well. But for now, we're just going to have a hard-coded thing in here. We could actually leave it in here. If we want to create a custom password or something. But that covers it for this.